Namaste. Well, welcome to this section of finding our legs, finding our foundation, and engaging with the strength of that. So I've got a couple of props to help me. I've got some bricks and I've got my yoga straps. So go ahead and grab any props you might need and just have them within reach. If you haven't got a strap, use a dressing gown belt or something. And we're going to come and start in a reclining position. So let's see if we can activate, that awareness of the core of the body straight away. Knees can be bent or legs can be straight out. Feel that you're tucking the chin in and roll the spine. Place yourself down. Really working on finding this engagement through the belly. So there's an easing of the spine to the earth. If you like your legs straight out, stay with the legs straight out. If not, bend the knees, pop the feet on the earth. And we'll take a moment just to check in with the breath, particularly if we're just starting this practice afresh. There's no warm up before this. And concentrate on the breath. Find that steady breath in and out. And as you're ready to breathe out, keep that awareness of the breath, but bring both knees in towards the chest. We can do that little bit of rocking from side to side. Just going to be here a little while. Just want to do a little bit of work and check in what the legs are feeling like in particular, as our focus is all about them. And you can pop the feet back on the floor. And this is where we're going to grab the strap and do a sort of more old-fashioned hamstring release. So I'm going to bring the right thigh towards the chest. I'm going to put the strap around the ball of the foot, not the arch or the heel. And just see where the leg will come with ease. So it's straight without the back lifting off the floor. Let's keep this left knee bent for now. And then just checking that the strap is held in each hand, not clumped together with one. And that your leg is as in its alignment as it can be. Even if it's less of an angle, that's absolutely fine. And the foot is nicely positioned. What I mean by that is that you're not pulling more into the big toe side or the little toe side. And let the shoulders relax. You don't need to bind and pull intensely here. It's just a little assistance. If we had more time, it'd be great to just linger here a little longer. And you can always pause the recording if you want to do that. But I'm just slowly just increasing a little bit of pressure, but without, straining through the hands, without the shoulders getting tense. And you can just feel, I'm just sort of testing where I can feel my leg starting to react to that. Whether my foot wants to point away to make life easier or whether I flex it a little bit more. If the leg starts to tremble a little bit, that's fine, don't worry. What we don't want is just have the knee bent to get rid of that. Just sort of play where it's sort of comfortable just to enjoy the experience. And we're going to change. So when you're ready to change, just swap that over. Popping the right foot back down. Again, start where it feels really comfortable, really easy. Legs are just getting a feel for what's happening. Position of foot is nice, not twisted, rotated. Foot is flexed, toes looking towards you. Again, no rush. If you feel you're over gripping, try and relax that down. It's quite nice to have the arms extended, but if you prefer to have the elbows down, either will work. Moving really slowly in, just trying to draw this leg a little closer towards the body, and I can feel that in a physical way. Again, check you're not lifting that lower back. Hips stay down. You're just being a little bit more sort of active, finding and feeling and noticing what's happening with the legs. So I'll have one more breath here. If you've got time just to pause the recording and repeat this, that would be great. Let's let that go. Bend that left knee, get rid of the strap. Pop that to one side, hug both knees in towards the chest. And then you can either spinal rock up or roll over to one side. Maybe do that a few times. Your spinal rocking. Let's massage the spine. That one more time. I'm going to come all the way up, round onto hands and knees, taking your time to get there. Just position the wrists so they're sort of hand length further forward than the shoulders now, and then tuck toes ready. And exhale into downward facing dog. And just checking in, what do those legs feel like? Might always need a little bit more gentle persuasion. That little walking out, whatever feels right there. And then from there, you can start to walk the feet forward. Find that standing forward fold. Feel that rootedness through the soles of the feet, and carefully let's uncurl the spine. Going all the way up to Tadasana Mountain Pose. And you can shake out the legs when you're ready. Wonderful. So let's slowly turn so you're on left ways of the mat. We're just going to check in and see what's working or how we're working. So let's take a nice stride, comfortable stride for you, and to start to work into Trikonasana. Hands can be on the hips. You notice my feet are parallel at this point. You're going to turn out on your left heel without the hips turning, shoulders turning. They stay straight ahead. There can be a little softness in the knees. You don't need to be locked, but it's not really a super bent knee. There's a little bit of ease there. So you still have that strength through the legs. Let's breathe in, sweep the arms to horizontal. As you exhale, bring that left hand down, right arm up. And notice my hand can be on the thigh, or it can go past the knee and onto the shin. Right hand can stay on the hip. So again, finding the alignment, finding those subtleties within the shape that works best for your body. And just get that sense of the feet really connecting into the earth, drawing the hip bones, the thigh bones back into the hips. Lovely. As you inhale, lift back up, extending the arms. Exhale, lower the arms, turn the left foot in, hands back to hips. Let's try that on that right side. So turning out on the right heel without disturbing the hips and the shoulders. Inhale, sweeping the arms up to horizontal. Exhale, moving into your version of Trikonasana. Turning, spiraling the chest so it's facing forward, not down. Feel there's that energy drawing up through those legs, feet firmly connected on the earth. Using that steady breath just to help you work into the legs, finding the stability. And as you breathe in the next time, use that breath to lift the body up. Exhale, hands come down, and the right foot turns back in. Let's go ahead and heel toe or jump the feet back to center. Wiggle out those legs. So you're going to add a little bit more, move with that in a moment. So let's go ahead and have the bricks as a just in case. Now you can, if you've only got one brick will do. If you've got two, you can pop them just in the middle of the mat, just slightly forward of you. And you might want to adjust the height according to what you feel you need. Let's pop hands on hips, step the feet. A good stride for you now. Those legs might start to feel a little bit more alert. We're also working into the hip joints here, so really feel there's that strength around the pelvis. I'm going to come into a wide leg forward fold. So breathe in, feel that length from the floor to the sky. And as you exhale, folding back, taking the chest, finding that horizontal position first before you collapse further into the shape. So you feel the legs are holding you. A little bit of support through that core area of the body. The whole core is, it's not just isolated to the navel region. Get all of that energy helping you. And then as you exhale, maybe the fingertips will come to the floor. Maybe you like using the bricks to stay a little bit higher. And be really aware of where your weight is through the feet. I'm going to stay a little bit higher just so you can hear me rather than having my head facing the opposite way. But by all means, bring the palms down and the crown of the head can start to extend down towards the earth. If your head naturally rest on the floor, try not to let that happen today. Feel that you're coming forward rather than bringing the crown of the head on the floor. Just want to wake up the backs of the legs a little bit. You know, sometimes those muscles can feel quite tight. Sometimes they're quite happy and relaxed. You know, everyone's a little different. And try and resist the urge of letting the hips go back or forward. So from a sideway view, which you can't see on screen, I've got my wrists in line with my shoulders. And although my feet are separated, if I had my feet in line with their hips, my legs would be vertical. Wonderful. Take one more breath here. And I'm going to move in a moment into sort of Skandasana, the sort of sideways lunge position. So this is where you might want the bricks. I'm going to lift my left heel, bend my left knee, and extend out my right leg. So I'm coming to sit on that left heel here. So this is where you might like your bricks to help you with that little bit of balance. And I'm really trying to work and find length through this right side. I've got my foot flat on the floor. You might prefer to flex that foot and lift the toes and just connect the heel. And if this doesn't feel great for the knees or the hips, just go higher, make a slightly softer shape. And then you can use the brick or you can use your hands to slowly transfer to the opposite side, extending out then the left leg, balancing, sitting on that right heel. You can keep the hands on the floor for now, or stay a little bit high. If you're high, you would look a little bit more like this, okay, which is absolutely wonderful and magical for the hips. So finding where your body needs to be. And really emphasizing what the legs are doing. And we'll start to move a little bit more over to one side. Have a breath or two there. Just go at your pace. And you can move across to the opposite side. So I'm just going a little bit quicker, but again, just see where you're at with this. Taking your time, just enjoying that little flow. If you're feeling well balanced, if you've got that connection through the legs, you could try gliding across without the use of the hands. And working a little bit into those hips. And it becomes a balance, so fix your focus. And we'll just do that maybe one more time to each side. And then we can come back to the center, popping the hands down. So we're coming back to that wide leg position. Go ahead, grab the bricks if you need them. And starting to lift the spine to that horizontal position. See if you can bring the hands back to the hips. And then with that strength in the legs, let that strength carry the body all the way back up to that upright position. And then you can heel toe the feet together. We'll hop the feet in, and then we're back in Tadasana. Just pausing for a moment. Finding that steady breath in and out. And then we'll shake out the legs. Have the feet just slightly wider than the hips. And we'll take some steady, slow hip circles. Changing direction. And then coming back to center, walking the feet back into Tadasana. Just connecting to the feet, to the earth, to the legs, and the feet to the crown of their head. Wonderful. I'm going to come back down onto the mat. So coming down into hands and knees. Maybe see if we can make a transition from a little tiptoe balance. Again, use the hands if you need to. So fix your focus. If you're not sure, have a little look and then you can follow me down. So I'm lifting the heels. I'm going to descend down nice and steady, using the thigh muscles really active in those legs until I'm just nestling on the heels, and then see if you can slowly lower the knees down towards the floor, and then we're on hands and knees. We'll go ahead, put your hands down, be safe with that transition. So I'm going to move the bricks out the way. I'm going to step now from cat, my right leg forward, just finding that sort of simpler alignment through lunge. So I'm not in a deep position. I'm going to work this a little bit more. I'm going to slowly come up. This is joining in, so that we're in this elevated position. So my front shin is vertical and the back thigh is not in a deep lunge position at this point. Okay. What we're going to try and do is release that left thigh and work the leg a little bit more. So think about the root of the spine pointing down towards the earth and slightly forward. So if I just said tuck the tailbone under, then it becomes a little bit too sort of exaggerated. It's more of a sweeping down and slightly forward, so that you feel what we're trying to do is get the sensation into that front thigh. So there's a strength in the leg helping you to release the front of the thigh a little bit, and your hands are not holding you up. There's this real connection to the earth. You'll take one more breath there. And then we can exhale when you've finished. Ease those hips back. Keep that right leg out in front. This is where you might want the bricks now. You can be as high as you want to. And you're going to straight out that right leg. And notice this left thigh has not gone anywhere. I haven't lunged forward. It's exactly where it is. So we're going to work this right leg, flexing that right foot. And again, this might be enough just to wake up the muscles in the back of the leg. If there's a little bit more movement in there, more space to play with, you can drop the bricks down. But the important thing is keep the spine long. Let's resist that urge of rounding and flexing everything. Let's just see if we can get a little bit more of a sweeping spine. So we feel sensations maybe in the back of the leg, just depending on your leg. Now I'll take one more breath there. And after that complete breath, we'll let that go. We'll slide that right leg back and come back onto hands and knees. Feel free to do a little bit of cat-cow, have a breather in child pose. If you're feeling really energetic, then go through a short vinyasa flow from dog to plank to 8 points and upward dog or low cobra. And then back to down dog. And we're going to set up on the opposite side when you're ready. So let's go ahead and get that left foot forward. So not a big stride. When you come up, round up through the spine, the leg should have you here. Left shin bone vertical. Think about the tailbone sweeping down and ever so slightly forward. So you start to activate and work into this right hip, right side. As you breathe out the next time, let's come forward. Using the bricks, if you find them helpful, I'm using them just for demonstration. And so I can keep talking a little bit more clearly. So let's bring that left leg straight. So not letting the hips come forward. Working now into the front leg. Try and flex that foot. If it doesn't like it, keep it down. Do what you need to do. but just feel the difference of the foot being flat. And again, if you're going to move a little deeper into this, try not to round through the spine. Just lengthen as much as you can. Maybe this knee has to soften a little bit. Again, just finding your way, experimenting a little bit. Feel that there's that hugging into this center line. Just really waking up the legs. Again, with these practices, with these pre-recorded sessions, if you have time just to pause the recording so you can stay a little longer, do so. But for now, we'll start to release as you exhale. The next time, soften that front knee, take that leg back, get rid of the props. If you have them, come back into the palms. It's all tuck toes under, wrists are handling, or hands are handling further forward, wrists away from shoulders. Exhale back into those, into downward dog. So you maybe just notice what's happening with the legs now. If you need to cycle out the legs, have a go at that. Wonderful. And then we're going to breathe in, pop the knees back down on the floor, swing the legs out and round. I'm going to come back to reclining. Again, let's encourage the sort of strength of the body to place the spine down with control. Take a little moment when you made that connection with the earth again where we started. You can maybe take a full body extension here, really fill that space from the fingers to the toes. And then relax the arms down. And we'll bend the knees, pop the feet back on the floor. Go ahead and grab your strap. I'm going to check back in with those legs. See what's happened from when we first started and how they are now. So you're going to bring that right thigh in towards the chest, pop the strap around the ball of the foot. My leg feels a little easier, just in those few movements. So again, don't worry about the angle. I'd rather you concentrate more on a straighter leg. And we're going to extend this left leg away. Keep that left foot flexed so that leg feels strong as this right leg is now elevated. And grab the strap in, or both sides of the strap, in your right hand, and pop your left hand on your left thigh. So we've worked sort of front and back of the leg, and we've looked at the inner edges and the outside edges. So we're just going to see how this feels as we take that right leg out to the right side without these hips sort of lifting and a big gap coming underneath the back of that left side. Again, just working at your pace. Slowly. I get trapped by my door there, I think, which is quite nice. I can rest my leg there. That can be really helpful sometimes if you have a chair or a prop. But if you have space, just work with it. You're really working in feeling that you're drawing that right thigh bone back into the hip socket, down into the center of the body. So there's strength there. And then when you're ready, inhale, bringing that leg back up to center. I'm going to swap sides. So when you're ready, bend that left leg, bring the left foot into position, release the right, take your time with this. Yeah, just check in, see how that left side's feeling after the practice. Starting to hold the strap when you've had time, just feel that. So we're holding the strap in the left arm and sliding that right leg out. Be active in that right side. Pop that right palm on the front of the thigh, so you know your pelvis isn't going to twist or move. And we're trying to lift this left leg out to the side. Try and aim more for the top corner of your mat rather than the bottom corner. And again, it may not go far. That's fine. The body will get all the work it needs there, with all the benefits. There's no point forcing or pushing the body beyond what it needs or wants to do. And just keep working. Notice you have to be really strong and connected through that right side. Just slowly help that left leg working these abdominal muscles. So that side to side lunge movement will really work these inner thigh muscles. Steady breath in, steady breath out. And when you're ready to breathe in the next time, picking that leg back up. So they're working together, the leg and the arm, and then slowly release the strap, pop that to one side. Let those legs shake out, and we can just leave it here. So you can take a few moments in Shavasana, and then you can carry on with the rest of the day, whatever you're doing next, or you could add or tag on one of the other segments. If you need to release the back a little bit more, then hug knees to chest, just those little movements. Happy baby, if that works for you. And I'll leave you there just to pause for a moment, particularly if this is it and you're moving on with the rest of the day. Just give yourself at least a minute in Shavasana, a little time just to come back into the breath. You could have one hand on the navel, one on the upper chest. And take a few moments there, just enjoying the effects of the practice. Working on quality movement rather than quantity. And I'll say Om Shanti. Thank you.